Hey everybody, welcome back to the Working Man's Whiskey. I'm Bobby. Today's whiskey I'd like to review is Laphroaig, and this is the 10-year-old Laphroaig. Told you guys I wanted to review a Scotch that is pretty well known, pretty highly sought after, very well respected, and this is it. Laphroaig is an Islay Scotch whiskey. Very good stuff. Islay whiskeys are kind of known to have peatier notes than say like a Highland, something from the Highlands or whatever. There are so many different kinds of whiskey that come from that region. Delicious in their own ways, but this one is probably my favorite Scotch whiskey out there. And Laphroaig, guys, this was actually a gift from my cousin Donna. Thank you, Donna, if you're out there. I appreciate you getting this. I don't usually buy this myself, even though it is my favorite Scotch, because it gets up there, guys. It gets up there about $50 a bottle. Sometimes you'll be lucky and find it for high 30s a bottle. So it's it's kind of a special treat every now and then. But if I'm in a restaurant or a bar and I see this, I'm gonna definitely get a glass. I mean, this is very good stuff. Very unique stuff, and definitely wanted to talk about it today. So, Laphroaig, they've been around since 1815, over 200 years now, and they were started by the Johnston family back in 1815, and the Johnston family, it passed through their hands for years and years, and then they kind of died out a little bit. They left it to like a family friend, and then passed through several more hands. A lot of times when that happens, guys, you get something that doesn't always end well when that happens. There are several whiskeys out there that have been around a long time that are nothing like the original product. Sometimes it still works out, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it definitely worked out. Laphroaig today is owned by Beam, as are a lot of whiskeys, and it's still considered. This is considered one of the best, highly sought after, highly respected, high quality whiskeys, guys. Scotch whiskeys from the Islay part of Scotland. So, and also a little fun fact: this is the only whiskey in the world that has the royal warrant, which is Prince Charles went to where Laphroaig is made back in 1994, and there was a big presentation. He gave it the royal warrant, which means it's the only whiskey in the world that is allowed to advertise that they supply the royal family with whiskey, which is pretty cool stuff. That's a lot of respect right there. So anyway, let's look at this. Already poured some in the glass here, guys. On the color, you got like a gold color here. Not very dark. It's hard to tell with Scotch though. It's not like bourbon where you can be like, you can see a 12-year-old bourbon and notice the barrel char and all that. You're talking different grains with Scotch, different aging process, all that. So you might have a light whiskey and just look at it and be like, oh, doesn't look like anything special, but you can't really you can't see the character just by looking at this. It's got a ton of character, guys. So let's see the nose, or see what we have in the nose. And on the nose, guys, I mean, it's just such a good nose. It's not for everybody, I'll tell you that right now. I have some friends that have had a whiskey with me, and they'll take a taste of this, or they'll smell this first and say, no way, not that's not it's not gonna happen. So it's kind of you love it or you hate it. Sometimes it's just like an acquired taste. I think I definitely I like this more as time goes on. I mean, I think when I first smelled this stuff, I just had no idea what to do with it. I smelled that smokiness, that kind of burnt wood, campfire smell to this whiskey, and wasn't sure if I was going to like it, guys, but just as I drink more whiskey, try more whiskey, some of the peatier whiskeys, I just you might want to start slow. I mean, there are some whiskeys that have a little bit of peat. I don't want to use the term like beginner's whiskey or anything, because they're not. It's it's all in what you like. But things like Johnny Walker Red, you get a little bit of that peatiness in a Johnny Walker Red. Some people don't like Johnny Walker Red. I happen to like it myself. You kind of work your way up. As far as, if you want to get into the peatier whiskeys. And as I said, I just like Laphroaig 10-year more and more as time goes on. So on the nose, definitely that peaty smokiness. You get some like black licorice, like raw, in the raw. Also some leather, definitely some leather notes there. Not a whole lot of sweetness in this, guys. Not on the nose anyway. So let's take a taste. And on the palate, it's just unlike anything I've ever had before. Smokiness from that peat. It's got the same things that you get on the nose, some leather notes, some licorice notes, but you get more sweetness on the palate than you do on the nose. Some honey notes there. Maybe trying to think of what that is. But you definitely get something sweet there. It's like a mix of smokiness and sweetness, and it's a very good taste. Let me read you the back of this bottle before I forget to do that, guys. First of all, this is 43% alcohol by volume, 86 proof. Read you the back. It says Laphroaig, pronounced Laphroaig, is an all malt Scotch whiskey from the remote island of Islay in the in the Western Isles of Scotland. Laphroaig is a Gaelic word. It means the beautiful hollow by the broad bay. In the making of Laphroaig, malted barley is dried over a peat fire. The smoke from the peat gives Laphroaig its particularly rich flavor. Laphroaig is best savored neat or with a little cool water. And we won't be putting any water in this today, guys, because I love the taste of it by itself. But let me take another taste, guys, because I'm getting something in there. Something kind of hidden in the back there, and it's really good. Yeah, you're getting it's everything that everything you imagine Scotland being, just the smokiness, like a dampness, if that makes any sense. Kind of getting that damp rocks or something like that, by the lock. Saltiness, like a sea salt type thing. Also reminds me of some things that I experience every summer, camping out by the coast or something. Barbecuing some oysters maybe, some kind of shellfish. Just that mix of kind of like the ocean and smokiness of a fire or a barbecue or something, and it's a great flavor, guys. As I said, high 30s on sale, up to $50 not on sale, maybe even higher some places. But if you have the money to buy a bottle of this, or if you just want to try it out at a restaurant or bar, I highly recommend this. Definitely it's my favorite Scotch whiskeys, but it's my favorite Scotch whiskey, but definitely one of the best whiskeys I've ever had in general. So definitely try it out on the scale, I guess you could say, on the rating scale, I would give this I'd give this a 95 out of 100. I love this whiskey, guys. It just got so much going on. It's so unique, and it's a little more expensive than what we usually review, but it's not out of the question. Put in a couple hours of overtime and get yourself a bottle of this. So that's it for this one. Hope to talk to you guys again soon. Until next time, cheers.